2020 is a year that will go down in history, a year that has affected millions if not billions of people worldwide. Regardless, Jagex has provided us with quality content in 2020 and I'd like to recap some of the best updates this year, so when you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. 2020 started off great with a very important release on the 27th of January. The PvM Hub, aka War's Retreat. This update gave every player the opportunity to use bossing portals, given that they had at least one kill count at said boss, which previously was locked behind the massive requirement of maxing your account. By far one of my favorite updates ever released, as I couldn't imagine PvMing without it, and it already feels like it has been in the game for years, which it actually hasn't. Later we got some mining and smithing changes. Now mining was nerfed into the ground in terms of fully AFK mining training, although if you are using stone spirits and a perfect juju potion you'll still get decent XP, and disassembling smithing items would now give you a decent amount of components for the bars used. At the start of February we got a small little quest being Once Upon a Slime, which is quite a cute quest and you get a nice little pet as a reward upon completion. In March we got Solak scaling, which finally meant that players could do Solak in smaller teams without getting punished for it, and it definitely changed Solak for the better. Later in March we got a drop cleaner interface update, which was part of the Ninja Strike, changing the Charming Imp, Bone Crusher, Herbicide and so on to make it a lot more clear, and even showing the price of seeds in the interface. A really nice update indeed. On the 30th of March, Runescape got its 28th skill, being Archaeology, an absolutely massive update, bringing all kinds of players back into RuneScape 3 to try out the new skill. This skill was ginormous. It had 5 different dig site locations where you could train the skill, with mini quests called mysteries within. One of these mysteries being the one that unlocked the ability to create binding contracts used to capture and summon 7 all new familiars, one of them being the Ripper Demon, which was absolutely ridiculous on release, killing Vindicta by itself in 2 minutes and 9 seconds. And the cherry on top was of course the variety of relics for both skilling and combat that could be used in various situations. At the beginning of April we got a toggleable setting called object highlighting, which allows you to highlight pretty much everything you're hovering your mouse over in game. On the 14th of April we had a Shattered Worlds rework or add-on, adding more game modes and objectives to the Shattered Worlds minigame. On the 15th of June, the Ninja team updated the Grand Exchange and made it super responsive, an update I didn't even know I wanted at the time. This would easily be my top 10 updates of all time because it's such a nice update. It's something that just makes the game feel so much more modern and nice. At the end of June, all endgame PvMers probably jumped out of their chair as they could finally repair their Elite Sirenic or Tectonic sitting in their bank at 0.5% charge, thanks to the Repairable 292 armor update for ranged and magic. On the 13th of July, Adrenaline Potion refreshes were added to the PvM Hub's reward store, allowing you to reset your Adrenaline Potion cooldown when clicking on the Adrenaline crystals. On the 22nd of July, an interface scaling and offset camera mode were added to a beta, which was later added to the game, allowing players with higher resolution monitors to scale up their interface. Definitely an update that might have gone under a lot of people's radars, but it's in the game and is great for people using a 2K or 4K monitor. On the 27th of July, the second quest of this year was released, being Desperate Measures. Quite a hefty quest which made a lot of lorehounds extremely happy. Now, I'm personally not the biggest fan of quests, but I did think they did a very good job with this quest, especially with the little wave by wave minigame where you survive. I'm spoiling the quest. Let's move on. On the 18th of August, the Essence of Finality was released, a combination amulet of the 2 best amulets in the game at the time, being the Amulet of Souls and Reaper Necklace. And in addition to that, allowing you to store special weapon attacks inside, which kept the damage to the tier of weapon you were using, which meant big damage with the Dark Bow, big damage with the Gothic Staff, and so on. On the 24th of August we had a graphical update, being the Dwarven Mine entrance. Quite a weird place to randomly update, but it came along with one of those events, which I won't cover in this video at all if you haven't noticed already, so yeah, let's move on. On the 14th of September we got ourselves a nice new monthly D&D, being the Effigy incubator located on Anachronia. The graphics inside this area are phenomenal, and the experience for this D&D is too, which is probably why it's a monthly D&D, Nevertheless though, it's a good D&D, it's quite fun to do, and it also gives you these effigies which act like urns and can be filled up while having them in your inventory and trading under skills, and then they give you a certain reward depending on the type of effigy it is. On the 22nd of December, 4 new lunar spells were added to the game, being Sift Soil, Trap Telekinesis, Fire Urns, and Telekinetic Grind. These created new moneymakers and new skilling training methods. On the 14th of October, Runescape was released on Steam. This was absolutely massive. The amount of new players that came into the game was unheard of. It was absolutely ridiculous. There were so many people running around trying to figure out what to do. There was so much lag. There were people helping them, teaching them how RuneScape worked, and it was all in all just a great moment for RuneScape, and definitely one that will go down in history as something very, very big for RuneScape. Then on the 19th of October, there was an expansion to the Archaeology skill, being the Orthen Digiste, adding new potions, new relics, and skilling offhands. The purpose of this update was to fill the gaps that were kind of empty at the higher levels of Archaeology, as the Orthen Digiste required at least level 90 Archaeology to access. On the 26th of October, we actually got ourselves a new Halloween event, which is really cool, even though it was more of an AFK grind event, but it was a Halloween event nonetheless. And we got a bunch of Slayer quality of life and PvM quality of life, and in addition to that, we also received 4 free action bars. Yes, every single player in the game got 4 free action bars. From Jagex, that's right. Free stuff. On the 2nd of November, the achievement system got an overhaul. On the 9th of November, we got ourselves a wiki button in-game, and PvMers could finally stitch up their jellyfish pieces into full jellyfish. On the 16th of November, a new semi-AFK way of training construction was added to the game, being construction contracts. This also added a very good outfit to the game, being the Master Constructor's outfit. On the 23rd of November, a bunch of combat quality of life things were added, including debuff bar and buff bar changes, Essence of Finality recolors, and of course the ability to read what abilities actually do and what they affect in-game by hovering over them. On the 7th of December, RuneScape got a new boss, being Raksha the Shadow Colossus, proving to be quite the challenging fight for many players. This boss combined a large amount of mechanics into one, which overwhelmed many casual PvMers, including myself. Along with this boss, new abilities were added which are extremely powerful, like Greater Ricochet, Greater Chain, and even a new pair of boots, being Fleeting Boots. And the final update in this video is Violet is Blue 2, a Christmas themed quest continuing the story from the previous Christmas quest released in 2018. And as you can see, Jagex did a phenomenal job this year in terms of content, which is why I wanted to make this video. What are your favorite updates of this year? Let me know down in the comments below. And with that being said, happy holidays and all the best to you in the year to come.